Hi, English Nomad here, and welcome to my latest episode. This episode's going to be a little bit different than what I've been doing recently, and what I'm going to do is address one of the questions that I've had a few times, and that's regarding how do I cook my meals and what am I using to prepare my meals. So what I'm going to do a product review on the two items that are my primary things that I use to prepare food and also to boil water. So the two items are the Coleman Gladiator Series Fire Night, which is a 2-ring burner, and my JetBoil. Now today in this particular episode I'm just going to concentrate on the JetBoil. I'll do a separate video on the Coleman Fire Night 2-ring burner. So the JetBoil. Those who are not familiar with a JetBoil, this is designed really for people who do a lot of hiking, backpacking. It's a compact, lightweight burner with a cup that you actually boil the water in. So I'll show you how to set this up and what comes with it. And I've got a couple of cans of fuel, and I'll demonstrate how quickly this will boil water. One thing worth noting is JetBoil do sell their own fuel, and their small cylinders will actually fit in here as well. So with the burner and the fuel stand and the cup, and then you've got this that comes off the bottom, which is also a measuring cup. There's gradient on there so that you can measure water, and you can also put the fuel canister inside, and then you've got everything all in one place. So what's unique about the JetBoil? One of the proprietary design features of this is the flux ring, and what the flux ring does is it allows the heat to be more evenly distributed on the base of the pot, thus allowing it to boil quicker. It uses these standard butane propane mixture cylinders, which are available at most camping stores. JetBoil do have their own branded cans. They come in large size like this, or a little bit smaller than this, and then they come in the smaller ones, which are probably not much bigger than that in dimensions, and it fits in, like I say, it fits inside there, so you can carry everything all in one neat compact unit if you're going hiking for a couple of days over a weekend. And I've used those cylinders. You will get a lot of boils out of one cylinder, so they are a pretty efficient way of carrying a method to boil water if you're using those freeze-dried meals, or you want to make a cup of tea, cup of coffee. This is a one-stop solution for that. So how do you set it up? Well, I've got two cylinders here, so I'll use the one that's the emptiest first, and we'll work out how long it takes to boil some water. So the base goes on the bottom of the can, and it fits both sizes of canister. They're a universal diameter. Pull that cap off there. This screws on there like so. And then the cup sits on there, and then you've got the lid. And that's it basically set up. It takes less than a minute to do. I usually just use the cup and throw that in there so I don't lose it. Now it holds a litre of water. I find I only ever use it for boiling water for tea and coffee. That's its primary use. I sometimes boil water in it if I need to get some hot water for washing my pots. I sometimes fill it almost to the top and get the water hot enough to add cold water and wash my pots. Price on these, they're $140 there or thereabouts. You can buy them from most of the major camping store chains here in Australia. I've found them at the cheapest places tend to be online, and they come in different colours. I've got the camo. This particular model is the flash. They do a bigger one, which is called the sumo, and they also do other pots and pans which fit on here as well. So if you want a small frying pan, you can get a small frying pan for it. You can also get a small saucepan that fits on here as well. So there are accessories that you can buy for these JetBoils. So what I'll do is, while I'm talking, we'll get some water on the boil. Now, JetBoil claim that you can boil half a litre of water in around 2.5 minutes. Now, bearing in mind that this gas cylinder is almost empty, I'd say there's about 10% of it left in the can. We'll see how long it takes. I'll get my stopwatch ready and we'll time it. Put the lid on. It's got a piezo igniter on there. Sometimes it can be a bit temperamental, that's why I've got a lighter here just in case, but it fired up, no problem there. So yeah, so the reason that they use a special fuel mixture for these is it burns a lot hotter. The propane butane mixture gives off a much hotter flame than standard LPG or liquid petroleum gas. So these burn a lot hotter, hence it will boil quicker. So we'll see how we go. So I'll probably just speed this up in the video before I publish it. So what is it they say about a watched pot never boils? So we're just coming up to 2 minutes. So that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So we've gone past the quoted time for boiling half a litre and we're only doing 350 mils. But I suspect that is because the cylinder is almost empty. And there you are, it's boiling now. So that was 2 minutes and 45 seconds to boil 350 mil of water. With a gas cylinder that's probably only got less than 10%, I'd say, left in the cylinder. Gas pressure will obviously increase the intensity of the flame. So I'll get rid of this water. We'll let that cool down a little bit. So the test is exactly the same, and while that's cooling down, I'll swap the cylinder to the cylinder I have here. Now, cylinders, how long do they last? This one, I write the date on the bottom when I put a new one on, when I start using a new one. So this one, 21st of June. So where are we now? So this one's been in use for just over 2 weeks. A little bit more than 2 weeks, nearly 3 weeks. And I generally boil water for a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, maybe 6 or 7 times a day. So it's constantly getting used. So what I'll do is I'll put this. This one is a brand new cylinder, so it's full. It's never been used. Put the stand on it. Definitely worth using this. It makes it a lot safer. I have had the unfortunate incident inside the camper where I knocked it over because I wasn't using the stand. So I definitely do recommend that. So that's cooled down now, so there's no unfair advantage to this cylinder. So I'll just put in the water. I'll reset the stopwatch and turn the gas on. So I'm expecting that this one will boil at least, I'd say 40 seconds quicker, maybe even more, we'll see. Well, while that's happening, I'll put a tea bag in here because I don't want... So that's 1.5 minutes.
Yeah.
The steam's definitely starting to come off it. And that was a full minute quicker with a full gas cylinder to boil the same amount of water. So it does make a huge difference when the fuel canister is running out. And I have noticed that myself, having used it. Now I've had this for 2 years now, and I've travelled a lot with it, so I've had a really good opportunity to evaluate it. And apart from the occasional temperamental ignition on it, which I mean, it's very easy to start without the ignition. You just take your lighter and light it like that. So apart from the occasional temperamental ignition, it's absolutely superb. Bit on the pricey side at $140, but I consider the convenience factor of being able to boil water very quickly. It's easy to set up, so if I want to make a quick cup of tea or a cup of coffee on the side of the road, I can pull this out, put water in it, and I can make a cuppa in very quick time. So it makes it very convenient. So yeah, I would give this a fair and honest 9 out of 10. It would probably get 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for the fact that the piezo ignition sometimes can be temperamental. But as you saw there, both times I used it, it worked fine. So tell me what you think, and tell me what you think of the product yourself if you own one. Put your comments below, and if you want to know any more information on this, I will link the website for JetBoil, and I'll also put a link in there to one of the retailers who sells them online. I don't have any affiliation to anyone at all, and just for the sake of disclosure, I paid for this myself, like I say, 2 years ago. So JetBoil aren't giving me any kickbacks for plugging their products, but I really do like it. I do own the Sumo, but the Sumo's back in Perth, so I've owned 2 of these JetBoils, and each one's been absolutely superb. The Sumo is a slightly bigger cup, slightly bigger burner, but that one you can actually cook up a meal in it and eat the meal straight out of the cup. I wouldn't advise it in these because food sometimes burns to the bottom, but apart from that, I give it a great big thumbs up. So like this video, please share this video, and as always, please comment below. See you later, guys. Mike signing off. Cheers.